Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. Here we are again talking about Terry Bogard in Street Fighter 6. So we had the big trailer, big reveal. We already had the gameplay breakdown of the trailer on the channel already, but now Gamescom is happening and we have a few more details about Terry. Terry is playable on the Gamescom show floor, and a few intrepid folks have, snuck in some footage, and we can have a gander at it. Also, there's a detail about the main trailer itself that I didn't quite catch the first time around, which I do want to talk about that, but we'll talk about that later on. First, let's talk about some of the footage we've seen. Now, before we get into it directly, I do want to say there has been some misleading information going on right now, especially whether or not throw loops have been taken out of the game. You know, when people test stuff out in a, live fire situation, sometimes they get it wrong, right? It's been kind of a big blow up on Twitter, so without any definitive proof, I'm going to assume throw loops are still in the game. That said, now let's get into some of the fun stuff here. So our first clip comes to us by way of one Lord Zol Caliber. So you can see this is Terry's idle screen while he's, in the character select portion of Street Fighter 6. And there's some fun stuff here. So he's playing on an arcade machine, sure, right? But it's not just any arcade machine. This is what we call an MVS cabinet, so an SNK/Neo Geo arcade machine. Looks like this, and this is basically what you would play all sorts of different Neo Geo games on. King of Fighters, Metal Slug, so on and so forth. And while the video quality here isn't good enough to capture the detail, I've been told Terry is playing King of the Monsters on the cabinet. And that's a pretty deep cut. King of the Monsters, if you're unaware, is an SNK brawler/fighter where you pick, multiple big monsters and just kind of fight each other in a city. And honestly, this is a game that if it was ever remade would play very well today, as big monsters are back in a very big way. So Terry, bit of a connoisseur. So just right there, right? Just off the intro screen before you even pick Terry, there's already a lot of character and a lot of flavor going on. So I think that's just really, really cool and interesting personally. Now we got a lot more to work with here, including a moveset, which we'll get to in a moment here, but let's look at another Easter egg. So Terry's in the Pow Pow Cafe and you can see those barrels in the background, right? Turns out those barrels hold a little bit of a secret. Now this comes to us by way of Tanovan, and disregard where it says through loop because that started some problems. But the barrels, they break, sure, interactables break in, Street Fighter stages, but what's in the barrels is a very big deal. What's in the barrels? It's a bunch of ducks. Now, why would there be a bunch of ducks on this stage, you may ask? Well, those ducks belong to the Duck King. Duck King is SNK's funky fresh breakdancing fighter from the Fatal Fury franchise, and, well, frankly, he's known for the ducks. And the reference is cool in and of itself, but it's not the only Duck King reference in very recent memory. We covered it on a recent Fatal Fury City of the Wolves trailer breakdown on the channel, but Duck King's ducks are also an Easter egg in Terry's stage in City of the Wolves. So in Terry's stage in Street Fighter 6 and in Terry's stage in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, both stages have Duck King references. Like, surely this is of some cosmic significance, right? You can't just be throwing out all these Duck King references in multiple different games all at once. Is the era of Duck King, the Duck King apocalypse upon us? Just maybe. The ducks are here to stay. So that's a bunch of cool stuff, bunch of cool references, and you would expect this whole release is just coming with non-stop references. I'm a big fan of that, and well, there's probably even more that we're missing, right? There's more to be found just yet, and plus the World Tour stuff, which I'll be digging into very deeply when the time comes. Think of all the lore and tidbits we got with Akuma, with the Bison release, right? So World Tour and Terry, it's gonna be something special, I'm sure. Now, another thing we have is Terry's movesets, his move list. So we already, saw the gameplay trailer, we know the moves he does, right? But knowing the inputs also can help quite a bit. So these also come to us by way of Tanovan, so thank you very much for your service on this. And we can see the base move list. So one, yes, Rising Tackle is a motion. Now, we already called this in the original trailer breakdown video, but some people, they still doubted or they didn't know. But hey, now you know. No, even though this move is charge in most of Terry's appearances over the years, I think there's only been like 4 times out of 30-some games where it's not been charge, but this time it's not charge. So just like his most recent outing in the King of Fighters 15, this is just a traditional Dragon Punch motion. So if you're scared of charge moves, don't worry. Terry is a quote-unquote normal character, but don't worry, Mai will be the charge character. Charge Lords rise up. Also, as mentioned in the previous breakdown, Quick Burn and Burning Knuckle, even though they share the same motion, are two different moves. So Quick Burn is this guy here, second hit is an overhead, and Burn Knuckle was the classic Burn Knuckle. So they're both quarter circle back punch, but if you hit only light punch, you'll get the double hitting overhead, and if you hit medium or heavy punch, then you get Burn Knuckle, just FYI. Terry's a modular character. Much the same on Power Wave, the projectile. We have two actual versions of the move. One is quarter circle forward, light or medium punch. The other one is quarter circle forward, heavy punch. And you can see it right here. So the heavy punch version is just a singular big explosion, but the light or medium punch versions is a more traditional projectile that goes very low to the ground. Also, I don't have footage, but I've been told that Terry's more traditional projectile version, light or medium version, goes under Guile's Sonic Boom. And if so, that's going to be a matchup, man. That's going to be a weird match. Got no proof for you. Got no footage. I'm sorry. I was just told. So, like, if so, that's weird. Like, I expect it to clash with, like, Jury's Fireball. But if it just goes under Booms specifically, wow. That's just going to be really weird. And now, speaking of really weird, we now know some of his unique attacks and target combos, and certain things I didn't expect it to be the way it was. So here we see what we saw in the original trailer. Okay, target combo into the power dunk. You know, classic move. But it's not its own move. It's actually specifically part of the target combo, and I find that surprising. So it's medium punch, heavy kick, heavy kick. It's not its own move. And considering a move that's one of his most iconic moves, it being just kind of in a target combo, like, I gotta say I'm kind of disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe they figured with Burn Knuckle, Terry already has enough neutral skips as it is, right? I don't know, but yeah, so this is all just a target combo. Power Dunk is not its own move. Another thing that won't be its own move is the lane skip. So, as we discussed in the previous breakdown video, he can kind of switch lanes like classic Fatal Fury, right? This also is tied to the target combo. So, medium punch, medium kick, target combo, and then from there, we either go for a lane switch of either medium punch or medium kick. In the Fatal Fury games, when you do a lane attack, it's either going to be a punch or kick. So we see the punch here. I'm assuming he also has the kick. Maybe they have different properties. Like one, since this is certainly a slower move, one does more damage but is, you know, negative. The other one does less damage but is like plus on block. Who knows? But yeah, the cool little lane switch function is also a target combo. Other stuff like the fire kick, that is indeed down medium kick into heavy kick. Because, of course, it was going to be, like, this move is rare for Terry. He does not have it in the majority of games. So I never expect them to give this, like, its own dedicated special slot. So yeah, this is a target combo as well. And it's probably going to be a pretty good one. And yes, by the way, since I didn't mention earlier in the video, Terry is indeed a character that can drive rush cancel his crouching medium kick. So crouch medium kick for Terry is a threat on multiple avenues. Either the big juicy target combo into a launcher, or you can just do the usual Street Fighter 6 tag your toe, drive rush cancel from there. Now, the next thing I want to mention here is something that, like, it isn't a big deal, but it is a big deal, and it has nothing to do with the actual gameplay. It's all just on the character intro itself. So here we go. Oh, Terry catches a hat. Cool intro. Oh, he catches a jacket. Cool intro, right? That's the thing, though. He actually has different intros based on his outfit, which makes him completely unique in Street Fighter 6. Like, everyone has a different costume, sure, but their intros don't change. Like, some characters, you know, they might have a slightly different intro if it's player 1 or player 2 side, but Terry has actually different intros for the different costumes he has, because obviously he can't catch a hat when he's not wearing a hat, can't catch a jacket when he's not wearing the jacket. And it's an admittedly very small detail, right? But it's just something Terry has over the other characters, and maybe something that could be added in the future. Like, say, Marissa always has her helmet, right? Maybe if she had an outfit where the helmet couldn't really be accommodated for, then she could get a different, like, intro to the start of the round. Very small detail. Like, this is just a very little thing. But I just look at him like, oh, Terry's breaking the rules of Street Fighter because he has different intros based on his costumes, and nobody else does. Also, this doesn't matter anything at all, but I caught an editing error in the trailer. For a single frame after Terry does his intro here on the, you know, the classic Terry outfit, you can see it cut to player 2 bomber jacket Terry, and just for one frame you see the jacket there, and then it cuts to the rest of the regular trailer. It's literally only a single frame of animation, but I caught it Where's my no prize, Capcom? So yeah, just a video of a bunch of fun and interesting stuff for Terry Bogard ahead of his launch in Street Fighter 6. Naturally, when the time comes, check the channel. I'll have lots of stuff for you, and we're going to deep dive into that World Tour mode, because I'm sure there's going to be quite a few references for Terry and SNK in general there. But for now, that's it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.